Hello and happy holidays, the moment you've been waiting for. Here we are, the Project 1225. Let's begin. Alrighty, so it's here. Like I said, sorry. I'm pretty new still new at this, especially with me facing the camera, which I need to remember. I should, but probably not be staring at that screen. I should be more staring about right there. But I'm mostly more looking at about myself. But anyways, this is who I am. I'm not gonna do like a whole. We're gonna reach this amount of subs or this amount of views for face reveal. I don't really care about that jib jab and stuff. This is who I am. Deal with it. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous doing. I don't really do this type of stuff. I'm always gonna be about. I like to do more of being the behind the camera, talking and everything, which I have a more better flow. But in this situation, I'm a bit more stuttery and everything. But anyways, I'm gonna give a quick explanation right now. So what you're about to see right now is the beginning of the project, which painting the handrails, painting the tender. And this was before I painted the entire shell and the tender, which I'll explain later on in the video. But anyways, I'm painting the handrails because I wanted to give it more like an actual engine look, because if you just look up the Polar Express train set HO scale, and you're going to find a ton of videos of it, and you're going to see it looks like just a molded plastic body that just looked like it was cheap. And that was the only pet peeve I had. Oh, and especially the wheels. I did not like how they just left the wheels all into this like whole, just a little huge giant metal wheel. I did not like it a lot. So I went ahead and painted it, which I am going to say that at the end towards later on throughout this video. What I did not say was that I had to take it off. That when I was painting the wheels, I was going to remove the valve gears on each side one at a time, but when I took it out, it did not go well. I was this close to losing one of the I nearly lost the little tiny piece that was needed. So instead of doing that whole take it all apart, then paint the wheels one by one, then put them all together, I just went, you know what? Remove the shell and spin the wheel by hand, technically. Spin the motor by hand, so that way, slowly but surely, so that way make sure you got each single part of the wheel done. And thank God it worked. I'm glad I did that run instead of trying to take the entire valve gear off and paint the wheels one by one. And it also gave me an opportunity to also lubricate it, so that way I won't have to do it afterwards. And that's pretty much it. Sorry for the voice crack. Like again, I'm new at doing this type of video, because I don't like doing the whole speaking, and I'm new to the whole speaking in front of the camera, which I'm pretty sure I just said a while ago. I really don't have that much to say now, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support I've been getting. Thank you so much for 40 subscribers. I did not expect it to reach that much, especially since I started a month ago. I was not expecting to reach that much in about a month. I did not really think about that. Not really think about it. I didn't think I would get that far. And later on, especially towards it's almost the end of 2024, and we're about to go into 2025, which I'm surprised this year went by quick. But it's felt weird, like how it felt like yesterday we were saying Happy New Year to 2024. Now we're getting ready to say Happy New Year for 2025. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. All that jib jab. I want to thank you guys so much. And let's go ahead and begin with this hour-long video, which I said again, I'm gonna put it. There's gonna be a timestamp, so I might put it around this section of the video. So of the train running. If you don't want to watch the entire video, that's all right. I'm not gonna get upset. That's all right. Completely fine. I understand you don't want to sit there hearing me yap and yap and yap about what I'm doing, about setting everything up. But all the links. Oh, and also all the links of the parts that I have, the parts and materials that you will need for this project if you want to do this yourself, which I highly suggest. Which if you want to do, go for it. And also, also, well, I'll say it in again in a little bit. Well, not forget it. I had an entire script ready, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna wing it. But anyways, this entire section is something I wanted to. Well, sorry. This has been something I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm really happy about how it turned out, even though there were some ifs and bumps in the road for it. But I'm happy. There was a lot of stuff scratched, a lot of stuff that was unscratched. Well, not really a lot of stuff. There was mainly it was the figurines. That was mainly it. But I had very fun doing this project. So sorry for I'm taking way too much time already. So let's go ahead and begin with the video. Happy holidays. Alrighty, now we got the handrails painted, the class lights painted in bleach black, and give the bell a little more of an actual bell look. All we gotta do now, just let this dry. Once it's dried, then we can get towards the interior, which you can't see. But I will be the one able to see it, and I might just show a before and after photo. Which, yeah, alright. I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll be back. Now we got the handrails on the tender, all painted in silver. Silver on the sides. Clean everything here, and also here. Even though in the movie, the ladder, I think it was black. I don't think they painted it, but I just painted it anyways, just to make it look more like an actual model engine than looking like a cheap mold that you would let Timothy play, and if he wrecks it, oh well. Now this one will look more like an engine that you will not let little Timothy play with. Only you, yourself, and yourself only playing with this engine, including the passenger cars, which I'm now currently waiting for the other stuff, all my other stuff. Once they arrive, I'll do a little video on those two. Well, I'll film those two as well. But now, the last things for this engine is for the interior, cab interior, which obviously in the movie there was a lot of pipes, a lot of knobs, lot of everything. But in this one, as I'll show a picture here, there's really not much. But I am giving this one a little paint on the inside, and on the roofing a dark green. Even though in the movie it was all black inside, but in the film when they reached to the Glacier Gulch, the roofing of the cab was a bit of an unnoticeable dark green, very dark green, and this one's pretty close to it. So I'm gonna do that off camera, since you won't be able to get to see it in here, because obviously it's dark, looks like a black hole inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera, and I'll show you the after image. Alright, I already made a little strip of paper towel, soaked it in little isopropyl alcohol so I could easily, hopefully, I'm giving it a 20-minute timer so that I can get it'll be enough time to penetrate the lettering for the number board. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna flip around, do the same thing again. Then once I'm done, the wheels are next. But I'm gonna do one at a time, because knowing myself, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna accidentally put the wrong ones. Well, these two are flywheels. This one doesn't have the traction tire. This one does, but knowing myself, I might have messed up. So I'm gonna do one at a time. I already got my screws ready, got my paint ready. Oh yeah, I already got the paints were ready long ago. Once I'm done, once I put everything back together, I'm gonna go ahead and do some lubrication for the motor, the gears, and any moving part on the locomotive and tender. And just doing the same thing for the passenger cars as well. I'm also gonna do the same thing for the passenger cars if I get the time. But with all that said, I'm gonna let the timer go all the way till the time is up and see if it works. Until then, while we wait for the alcohol to settle in, I also painted the inside of the abandoned toy car with the yellow paint marker. And I didn't really think this was gonna look good, but it looks way better than the LED lighting. Here, let me go and take off the shell to show what I'm talking about. It's just a bright white light. This one gives them more of an amberish color, so it looked more like the one in the movie. Now I know what I'm gonna do for the other passenger cars. This was an experiment that I just did it. I didn't think it was gonna work. I was like, if this doesn't work, I can always simply wash it off. But no, wow, this looks really better. A million times better. Lionel, take notes. Alright, I think it's almost time to see if I can take off the number board, the cab. So, yeah, this looks a lot better now. Alright, the isopropyl worked, and using a toothpick on this is 10 times better than the metal tweezers. As last time I was doing on my passenger car, it did remove it, but I think it left some scratches on there. I hope when I paint it, it'll hopefully cover it up. But now we got that. Now this one's finally removed. Time to do the other side, and then we'll repeat the process. Until then. Alrighty. Now I finally got the number board all taken off, both sides. I also painted the underneath of the roofing of the cab as well. Even though no one will notice, same thing for this, but it's something I would like to notice when I'm working, so that I take pride in my work. All this is off. Now it almost looks close to completion. Now the only thing left is the wheels. And then we'll see how this goes. Which I'm going to use the foam crater, so that way I can remove the bottom underneath of it. I think I might do the same thing for the tender. I'm going to need to remove the 1225 on the back and the little, I don't know how you call it, I think you would call it the information, technically requirements for the tender, what would need to be filled up with both water and coal. But yeah, let me go and do that, and we'll go ahead and get started with let me go and do the number board and everything on the tender, then we'll be on with the wheels. Until then. Alright, 20 minutes has passed and the decal was able to come off. Some of the stuff was stuck on there, but I was able to get all of it off, but there were some that were a little bit difficult to get. So I just went ahead and painted black, and this side where no one won't really even look at when it's running. You're mostly going to see nothing but the handbars pretty much shining while the engine goes around the track. Anyways, I think I might go ahead and paint the coal, even though I'm not. This is now a new part that I'm adding on it now, just for the giggles, shits and giggles. But anyways, I did a little bit of experiment. Oh yeah, that was. I think I should have left it sit there a little more. I put a little bit of some black paint on here, on the wheels, and it actually looks pretty good. All I gotta do now is unscrew it. This was more of a test, just to see how it was gonna look. After all, now it looks better. I'm not gonna paint the valve gears, as I'm gonna leave them as is. And then that should be all it for this engine. All I gotta do is take it apart, paint it, and let's see how it looks, and then test it around the track with the new painted passenger cars for the lights, which I mostly just painted on where the silhouettes are, and that was pretty much it. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I managed to get these to a yellow color. As you all know, or if anybody new here who have absolutely no clue about these type of HO scale trains, is that Lino, this was supposed to be a bright white LED. So this was shine out white. But now with a little bit of yellow paint, now I'm able to get this nice little amberish glow. And once I put it on the track, I'll show you what I mean. Alright, here's the before this after I painted all of the interior lighting for the passenger cars yellow. Now while I wait for the hot chocolate and coach car to arrive. This is how it looks. And once I take this shell off, you'll notice a bright white LED lights. Same thing goes for when they did for the top over here. I also painted that red, so that way will give a more accurate look. Now it looks 100 times better. And now we put this back in, and I believe that should be on there. Yep. Oh well. But now it looks 100 times better. Now it looks more like the one in the movie. Now it has a nice amberish glow. Even though the brightness now it's a little dimmer. I'm pretty sure it's probably reduced some brightness for the light to go out and be able to be reflecting on the floor, or on this situation on the dinner table. Now it looks 10 times, actually not 10 times, 1,000,000 times better now. So now we go back to the process of painting the wheels. I just wanted, the wheels on the steam engine. I also did this for the tender, okay, it's a bit not railed on the rails properly, but I'll go and show you what I mean for the tender. Alrighty, so after I painted the wheels, the headlight, now the more of an amberish glow than a bright white LED glow. And also I don't have the engine hooked up. And ignore, this isn't my school backpack, this is more of my little tool pouch. But now it looks a lot better, giving more of an amberish glow like how you've seen it in the movie, not a bright white LED. Now next up, I gotta do the coal, and then paint the drive wheels on the steam engine and lubricate it. And let's see if I got time to run it today. If not, another time. Until then. Alright. I don't know how long it took me, but I finally got it. Got the drive wheels painted nice and black for both sides. Now the bad part is, since I had it on top of the cradle, all of the paint from the handlebars and from right here are gone. But that's no biggie. All I gotta do is a simple repaint. That should be it. But for today, it's already enough for me. I'm already getting a little. It was a bit of a hassle, but I finally got it. The wheels are painted black after running it, and I also did some lubrication, so that's a good thing too. Now, all you gotta do is wait for the other cars and my other stuff for the paint. And that should be all it. Until then. Alright, I forgot to film this section when I was doing the tender. I'm about getting ready to paint the rooftops. I already did the ones on the since the observation one is done. Because I want to make sure this gives more like a snowy, more looking, like snow look in the movie. But anyways, back to the tender. So I was removing the lettering and everything. But everything was going dandy, mighty dandy. But with the dry transfer for this one, since I used the white one, it was not sticking. It did not look good. I did not like the way how it looked, so I had to go order that sticker decal I was talking about, which where I got that decal will also be in the link in the below. Same thing for the paint, which I'm pretty sure I already talked about it already. So once I do that, once it arrives, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, right now, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and start scraping off all the lettering and also remove the paint on the handrails on the tender. Same thing goes for the locomotive. Well, I'm not gonna do the inside of the cab, that one's already good enough. In case the paint gets on it, I do need to do some repainting, and that should be it. Gotta remove that shell and gotta get myself some of the satin black. Same thing, it's gonna have to stick with satin and everything. I was hoping they had a gloss to give like an icy glowish look like how it is in the movie, but they didn't have it. They didn't have the midnight blue gloss, they just had the satin. I was like, okay. Once I sprayed it on my tri-clean car, it gave it a nice glow. Not a nice glow, a nice shiny look. So I'm gonna stick with that route and make sure all the colors I have are satin. Make sure everything's satin. If you're going to do doing this project yourself, make sure everything is satin, and make sure stuff like this gets scratched out clearly, and make sure you tape up where the lights are going to be shining, because if you paint over them, it's not going to look good. Trust me. So far I haven't messed up yet. So far, thankfully, because I've been taking my time. This is a take your time process. Don't try to rush it, because when I tried to rush on one of my passenger cars, it did not look good. It looked obviously rushed because I had to do some touch-ups. Alrighty, so all I gotta do is, well, I'm gonna first do these first. Let these paint dry up so I can paint this on here. Then after when I let them dry, I'm gonna start slowly but surely removing the lettering on the sides of the tender. Then I'm gonna take it out, unscrew it actually, remove the shell, and if you don't know, this one's also removable. I found out by an accident. I thought I accidentally broke it, but no, this is also removable, and it's also a little part you can find on their website too, which I did for when I had to remove the when I was doing, fixing the get in there, when I was doing converting the coupler into the body, which you know what, yeah, I might just do a video on that one too. There we go. It's a nice little snug fit. So what I'm going to do for the same thing, you also need to remove this. I'm going to also paint this side here satin black, and then this a flat black. Yeah, just a flat, maybe not. Just going to paint the entire thing so I'll give a nice, no, forget it. I'm just going to paint this one a flat black. That way we have plenty of that spray paint here in the garage. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. But I'm going to use a satin black for this one. Check out all this, satin black, everything satin. Alrighty. So I'm gonna put the tender away so it won't be clogging up my space, and that way this will also go great on there. And that should be it to it. Alright, first up we got not first up. I already got the other passenger cars in the backyard already drying already since I spray painted them. Because the first one that I made did not do well, because I used a box cutter instead of an X-Acto knife, and that did not work well at all. So right now all I'm going to do is put some masking tape both on the striping and on top of here. So that way, the paint won't get in, and also, yeah, I'm just going to cover this up. I don't think the paint won't get on top of here. I'm going to put the tape over here. I'm going to tape technically everything, especially over on the side, so that way the window won't get painted either. So I'll catch you on a little bit. Alrighty, now we got it all taped up. Now I'm pretty sure you can all see the scratching where I scratched off the lettering, but that's alright because the paint's going to cover this up. And I also went ahead and want to get one of the most difficult part out of the way, is painting a little section right here for the observation car. I also tape where the light shines through, but I'm thinking I might go ahead and just tape more of this just to be on the safe side. And then I'll show you the other progress of the other ones, and that should be it. Alright, so here's the process. This is the coach car, the one I'm trying to do a little better job at, and this one's the one from the set. Now it does not look good. I'm going to try to mask this section up and cut some squares so that way I can touch up where the tape glue got on there. That's all I gotta do for this section, and that should be it. I might need to do the same thing. I need to check to see, make sure it was dry. And that's it. From here it looks good, but I don't want it to be the point where you can see much better. But also right here I need to do a little better job with the paint because it made a little. I should have cut that section off for the paint. As you can see, the line. Not a good job, but this is what tests are for. Well, that's why the track cleaning car that will release first before this. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna put this back in the shade so that way the heat won't melt the glue that's causing for the silhouettes to be on there. Once this all dries up, I'm gonna do a little better job, and that should be it. Alrighty, the abandoned toy car. Well, the first front side's already completed. Now I gotta let it dry, do its thing, and I apologize for the background noise. It's currently trash day. That one's still drying. We're gonna let it dry until I get back. I have to run some errands. Once I come back, I'm gonna go check how this one looks. I already painted the siding of the observation car, which from here it looks like I think I might need to do a little better paint job. I probably should not have put it like that. Now some of the parts just came off. I mean, not parts, the paint. So I'm gonna go and apply another coat, specifically on this side, and put it upside down and let it dry. So I'm gonna do that, and that should be it. Alrighty, all 4 passenger cars have been painted. So far, I think this is the one I just did just a couple minutes ago. I'm gonna let that one dry, and I think this one should be ready to go, but I'm not gonna touch it just yet. I might touch it later on in the evening, probably like around like 2 o'clock maybe. These ones I'm just letting the paint dry a little more. This one, once I get both sides, as you can see, I'm going to do one side at a time, because if I do both sides at a time without letting it fully dry, then I know it's gonna look bad. This is the one I had to do a little touch-up job, which I might need to do a little more on it, but I think that should be due on this side. Once this is dried, I gotta flip it over and do the other. Same thing for this one. This is the hot chocolate car. Once it's done, I do the exact same thing. Flip everything, apply more duct tape, apply more painter's tape. That should be it. Then I gotta take out the shell and paint the doors. Take more of the inside of there. Then I gotta paint all this the window inside. I'm gonna paint it inside. That's how I got it for this one, because this is my custom and this is the original Lionel. As one person thought this was Lionel's and this one's mine. That's the one I posted my anniversary coach car and saw the differential of colors. This one's now yellow and this one's now just a regular bright, I think it's like a bright white LED, which I didn't like. And to fit more with the movie, I wanted to have like an amberish type glow. So now all I gotta do is just wait for this, and that's why I painted the marker, used my paint marker, which I think I might need to get a different type of yellow paint, just so it'll paint the white on the inside. And then once that's done, this entire coach car is done, then I gotta paint paint the rooftop. Because in the movie, I see why they put the footsteps, just so it'll be like in the movie as they walk towards the engine before they reach flat top tunnel. But throughout the movie, and of course due to science, the footsteps are now gone. So now I wanted to make it look more like just a regular rooftop that's been snowed. And I'm gonna use some my white spray paint I have in the garage, and that should be about it. Now I'm gonna let this dry, do the other half, and then I think this one might be a little better suit, so I can swap the one I messed up with the other, just so I can put it with my little train set. Once this one's painted too, and that should be it. Then I'm gonna take this apart and then paint the sides. Now I found a little better way to paint the entire thing without having one side look even. This one, I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I messed up a bit. I don't know if you can see it right here. You see just a bit of the mess ups. Okay, good. Want to make sure I didn't get any paint on my finger. So now I'm gonna do is let it settle, let nature take its course, let it dry. Since right now it's 70 degrees right now, it's supposed to be almost 80 today. So it should be enough time for all the paint to dry up. Once it dries out, I'm gonna double check, make sure it's all dried and it's all ready to go. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and put it away. Put everything back to where it was. Plus it depends. If I need to do, I might have to do some little more better touch-ups because some of the paint didn't reach where I wanted it to reach. But I think that should be it. And then after that, I gotta go ahead and cover this up. And I have to do, which was a bit of a hassle, trying to get the paint in. So once that's done for the paint on this one, then I gotta take off the shell, then paint the inside yellow. Or I might have to go and get some paint and a little brush so I can paint the insides of the windows. Then apply the decals on this one now. And also I got everything ready to go. Remove the extended couplers. I will make a video on that shortly, eventually. Probably might do it once I get all this done. So, which is a simple, which you have to get the stuff on Lionel's website. 30 cents a piece. And that should be about it. Alright, now I let this dry. And I'll see y'all. No, well, not see y'all. Sorry, I blanked out. Now it's let it dry, then you gotta apply the paint on this, which I have to, well, first apply the paint on the bodies first, and then after that, I can go ahead and start painting the striping, and that should be about it. Until then. Alrighty, I got the most difficult part of the observation car. Well, it was a bit of a hassle. There's on quite a lot of duct tape. I mean, not duct tape, a lot of painter's tape, because I needed to get the step ladders on there, get painted, especially for this end at the end of the car, which was a little bit more work to try to make sure I do not get paint on that railing. I mean, I don't really care if I get paint, especially towards right here, since that's going to be covered by the shell. I also got enough to make sure that I covered that, and I also painted the body, the shell of the observation car, which I'll show. Alright, here's the shell of the observation car. I apologize for the background noise. My neighbor's dogs are a bit of a barking. As you see, I already got it painted. I also got this side painted as well. And now I need to flip this over so I can get the roofing of this, as I couldn't get that angle. But once I flip it over, I'm going to go ahead and cover. Let's see. Yeah, it still needs some more drying. And let's see, I have a bad feeling I might have taken out a little bit. Okay, that's just on the taping. Alright, some spots need to get attached up a bit, but once I get this section and the bottom roof in there, that should be it for this. Alrighty, the end of the observation car is painted with the sand white. And I wanted to make sure it didn't get, especially those vents, but I think that looks a lot better now. So we'll call this a happy little accident. I want to make sure it looks like it's been snowing. Want to make sure it gives like a heavy snow effect. And it looks so good. Ooh, almost dropped it. It looks a lot better. Now the footprints are gone. And it does kind of give more like a snowed effect on it now, which you might see, but well, you can see it. There's a little bit of riveting. I mean, well, not little spots. So we'll just call this a happy little accident. So I'm gonna do this with the last remaining 4 roofs, and that should be it. But as of now, I'm just gonna let it. This is gonna be it for today. The other day, I'm gonna finish all the other rooftops, and that should be it. Until then, after a little more looking into it, I actually gave an actual like a rough, bumpy feeling. Well, I don't know how snow is since I live in the east side of LA. I've never been to the snow. No, I don't think I never will. I never knew. I don't even know what the texture of snow is. But this feels like a nice, like a very, I don't know how to explain this, but it gives me like a nice little bump feeling. But it does give it a little better staining. Well, I'm gonna call it that because I wanted these to be covered. I wanted these to be just as is. But since some of the paint got through it, actually looks a lot better.
Looks a lot better now. That's the only color that I give. Now all the footprints on here are gone. I don't know if I repeated this because it's been a while since I made the last some of my clips when I said that in the movie there were no footprints on here throughout the movie. You only see it again. I think I did. Yeah, I did. But now it looks better. Even the red light and the paint that I did underneath it stayed the same. I mean, well, I don't mind some of the white paint leaking into it. Gives it more character, more snow got on there too. But overall, if it focuses, if it can focus, and I also got the side steps painted on both sides. Man, I managed to get that. Now they're all dry. All I gotta do is take it off. That should be it. Even though I'm pretty sure some of the paint got underneath, but that really doesn't matter to me. Especially where you see the blue. The shell is going to cover that, and it's going to cover all the other stuff that's got painted on, especially if it's going to be underneath. I really don't mind that at all. The only thing that matters to me is I got the step ladders painted on both sides. That should be it. And apologies for the creaking. That's the door I didn't close all the way. Now all I gotta do is take off the tape, and that should be it. Wait for the shell to dry, and that should be about it. Alright, now we got the 4 rooftops all painted. Even though some you can see a bit of the footprints, but I'm alright with that. Just so that way I know which way it should be facing, even though I put arrows. I think I put them on all underneath. Yeah, they're all underneath. Yeah, they're all underneath, and I also spray painted the top of the co-load flat black. Then I'm going to use my acrylic paint marker to, if it focus. I'm using the acrylic, I use the acrylic paint marker to paint the top of the co-load, so I have a nice shiny. I already painted the side of the co-load sand black. Now all I gotta do is wait for this, and I don't think it's dried yet. It's not dried yet, but anyways, now that's all painted. Wait, no, we gotta wait a little bit to dry. Now, I gotta wait for it to dry, and that should be it. Alrighty, now I think the paint should be nice and dry, but I'm not going to touch it for now. This one already dried, and I also made sure this matched with this. And I also used my acrylic marker to lightly brush over the coal, so it could be a mix of both flat black and a little bit, I think it's more like a glossy black. So now I gotta wait for this, and I'm gonna go ahead and reattach this. So that way, all I gotta do now is just apply the sticker, and that should be it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Right now, that's it. I'm clocking in for today. Now all I gotta do is do the shell for the locomotive, and then that should be it. And I probably might need to go out and look for some balsa wood so I can put the figures on there. That should be it. Alright, so the sticker went on really well. It looks really nice, even though it doesn't look good from here, but it looks nice. Try to make sure it's nice and even, perfect on the spot. Now, next thing I'm going to do is for this one, I'm just going to paint the truck wheels black, and that should be about it. And I have to wait for one of the crewmen on here to dry, because when I opened it back up, he fell out and so I had to glue it back in. That's gonna be pretty much it. Let's see, this guy, I'm just gonna let it get dry a little more, then I'm gonna also paint these sections, and that should be it. Well, all together, it is starting to look good. Really, really good. And just like that, it's done. Well, not the entire thing. Only the one side of the trailing trucks are painted. Next thing up I gotta do is let this dry. And I can go ahead and finish with this one. And maybe this side. And I gotta do it. I'm pretty sure it should be dry enough where it's not going to fall off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and paint one side, and that should be it. Now we got it done. Next up, the other side, same thing for this side. Right now I'm just gonna let everything dry, and I'm also gonna go. Looks like I'm gonna need to put some more glue back on. Now it just came off. Oh no, it's just the fireman that fell off. The seat's still there, so I'm gonna go apply some more glue for the fireman, and that should be about it. Once I get him back on, I'm gonna go make myself some breakfast. As you can see, he came all off. So I'm gonna go do this real quick, and I'm gonna make myself some breakfast. I'm getting a little bit hungry. And just like that, got him back on. Very simple. Now I just wait for everything to dry. But so far it's starting to look good for the engine. Then after that, then off to the finishing up the stripes on the passenger cars, and that should be about it. Then I gotta do is apply the decals, give it a little test run, and yeah, that should be about it. I'm almost there. Almost there. I want to make sure I get this done before Christmas so I can ride around the table. Alright. Alright, now it's done. I already got both the trucks all painted, both black. Looks good. A lot better now. Same thing for the locomotive too. I also did on these sides. I also got underneath it, even though no one won't see it underneath. I don't know if I can get a good idea of that, but want to make sure it looks covered. Looks more, at least match the paint for the body, which I might want to paint this section over here. I think that might be glue leaked out or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna paint that real quick. You know what? I'm just gonna do that right now. And the paint stuff that I use, I'll also put that in the link below. Practically, I'll do it for everything that I bought for this. So if you want to do this project yourself, you have all the materials needed if you want to. Now it's done. Now it looks a little cleaner. Like everything else, pretty much good to go. Yeah. Now all you gotta do, wait for it. Well, now for that part to dry, then I gotta go ahead and apply the tape for the passenger cars, so I can do one side of it. Then after that, the other side. And finally, I can go ahead and apply the dry transfers decals from Woodland Scenics, which is a gold, which it should have it. No, I think I put it in my little box, which is a tin can cookie jar. So anybody who had a grandma, anybody's grandma, if you went into their room and saw a cookie jar and saw it was nothing but a bunch of sewing kits, well, this scenario, it's just going to be, for my situation, now it's just going to be nothing but parts, materials. So, yeah. Now that's all completed. Now all we do is wait for everything to dry. Then I can go ahead and apply the tape onto the passenger cars, and that should be about it. After 33 minutes, it's complete. Now I have to do the other 4. But this is the one I want to retouch up, because this one was the one I mostly rushed on. And it didn't look good. I wasn't happy with how it looked. But I got all the windows taped up. Some spots I am missing on. Let me just get it on here. I think that should be about it right there. But anyways, I already got it all touched up. Now all I gotta do is do with the other 4, and then then the first side of it, it's all done. Then tomorrow I'm gonna do with the other sides, and I think, and after that, apply the decals on the coach car. Only on that one, just like how they show it in the movie, how that's the only car that has the what was the word? Their lettering on there. That was the only one you see throughout the movie. Especially when they're in the Glacier Gulch, climbing up the hill, and how it is at the beginning of the movie. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. I'm just gonna do it on this video on this. Time lapse on this one, not the rest. So let me do the other ones, and I'll get back to you.
And that's how you, oh, my bad. And that's how you put the, that's how I stained it. Well, not stained it, it's how I painted it to look more yellow. So it looked like the one in the movie. Well, it's a bit actual yellow, you know. In the film it's amber glow, but once the lights are on, it's gonna give a bit of an amber glow. But anyways, this is how I did it. Very simple, very easy. Now, next up, time to do the painting. Time to do the paint or the striping. Alright, it was a long process, but they're all covered. I made sure everything was covered, so that way all I gotta do is take this outside, spray these off, and then that should be it. And to make sure the paper towels are nice and secured on the tape, so that way the paint won't get inside and mess up the windows. So let's go and take this outside and paint, shall we? Alright, after painting, they look good. There's some might need to do a better touch up on, mainly these three, but so far this one and that one, they look good. So now I gotta just wait for them to dry it and see what's, sorry, I blanked out. And once they dry, then we go and do the other side, and depending how these three turn out, I might have to do another coat or I might need to do some other stuff to it. But anyways, once these dry, that should be about it. I have to go while it dried. I just got finished making a video for Gordon and Skill Gordon. That video, if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description. I noticed that it did not dry all the way. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like a puddle. Bit disappointed, but I'm gonna put another ply of paint, see how it goes. After a good spray, they're all sprayed on. I think there's some sections that I think I might just go back to another coat. Once it dries, I think I might have put a little too much on that one. I'm gonna let it dry, let everything settle, and I'll be right back. At first, I thought I was done with the cab, but then I was looking through on the internet, went on Amazon, and I come across this certain fellow right here. He resembles someone else. I can't put a finger on it. So of course I went ahead and bought it, and I'm gonna put it at the back of the observation car, as he's waving to everybody as they go on to the North Pole. So once all the paint dries on the striping, then I can go and apply this little guy on the observation car, then paint everything underneath it black. So match with the glossy look on everything. Same thing I did for the engine. I painted the trailing trucks, so that will match with the gloss. Anyways, just wanted to put that note that this ended up becoming a last minute thing. Well, not really last minute. I'm almost done. It's like 90% done, between that line. Between 95 and 98. Once everything dries, I'm going to apply this guy on here, and that should be it.
Alrighty, so all three of the coaches are now prepped and ready to go for the spray paint. I only did 3 because this one was technically all done now, even though it does look, well, as soon as I flip it around, it does not look good. This is when I just barely got started. I shouldn't have rushed it. My fault, but hey, this is a learning experience. My first time learning experience is that it's been a while since I've done any customizations for myself. Last time I did a customization was when the movie Coco came out, and they released a couple of classical guitars dedicated to the movie. I always wanted that replica one they had, but it was too expensive, and my dad got me the other more affordable one for Christmas or birthday. No, I think it was for my birthday. And I customized it to look like the one in the movie, which I'll show a picture if I remember which case it's in. So anyways, I'm gonna take these three outside, paint them, let them dry. Then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and replace all the wheels swap all the wheels with the newer ones, and then also convert them all into the button. Put the couplers on, mount them onto the body, and then after that, do a little touch up on the windows in case some are scratched, so I can reapply some more yellow paint. And then for the trailing trucks and anything underneath it, well, that's going to be visible. Well, mostly on the sides, and use this paint marker, and then that should be it. Then I gotta apply the decal stickers on one of those coaches. I forgot which one I was gonna put it on. And after that, install the conductor. That should be it. I'll see you outside. All three of the sides have been painted. Now all you gotta do is wait for it to dry. Next up is to replace the wheels. Well, technically not switch. No, not replace. Switch them technically. See y'all back inside. While we wait for the paint to dry, this is where I'm gonna go replace the wheels, because I forgot which one, but one of them wasn't turning on. Now, I'm pretty sure it probably happened when I was painting it, and I'm pretty sure Mother Nature took control of it or something. I don't know what happened to it, but one of them wasn't really wasn't lighting up anymore. Before, when I got it delivered here, it was working perfectly fine. So now all I gotta do now, well, originally I was gonna use some cleaning solution, which it's in my backpack. I need to grab it so that way I can be able to do all this. And also I might need a paper towel for the cleaning solution for the electrical pickups, so that way I'll have a good connectivity for the electrical system. And I'm going to be using this Athearn old-time Southern car, passenger car, because I realized the wheels are the exact same thing as they used for Lionel did for their Polar Express passenger cars. So this is going to be a simple switch. Well, not really a simple switch. When I did the other one for the observation car yesterday, I didn't film that one because that one was more of a test experiment. I wanted to see if it was going to work, and it worked perfectly fine. So I need to do with all I got is 4 left, and thank God I ordered the full pack of the Southern passenger cars, which was a collection of 5 passenger cars, including a 4 passenger car set and 1 single. So all I gotta do is simple. It's very simple. Just swap the wheels. But I'm gonna do them all. Then I'm gonna replace them with these ones. I don't want to be doing one at a time because that's gonna take. It really won't be the point. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and sorry. And also another note, these passenger cars, I lubricated them earlier this year, so the oil that are left on the little spikes should be able to transfer on here. If not, I will apply a little more lubrication later on in the future, but as of now, pretty sure the remaining oil on here
should do the job. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, put this back, take out all the wheels, then after that then after I put all the wheels in here, which for these ones are a little more easier to take out. This ones were a bit of a hassle and a little bit more patience. So yeah, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace the wheels. Another note, this is the track cleaning solution I use. I think I got this on Amazon. I'll put a link on it in the description. I don't know if I said it already, but I'm gonna put the link of where I got all my materials from in the description. Some piece like the fireman, I'll probably, yeah, well, the fireman, yeah, I got it at Railmaster Hobbies. I think I said their name right. That's also where I got the set, the Polar Express set. But anyways, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use these cotton swabs, dip them in here, and then rub them on the electrical pickups. So that way when I do that, it'll also rub on over the wheels out there or replace them. And there. And I also gonna use some crazy glue, the toothpick, to put these two back in their shells. Even though these, well, I could have easily just left them as is, but I want to make, since I know people are probably gonna be looking at them, and they're gonna probably really look at them. I want to make sure these are painted as well. So I like to have it look nice, look perfect as possible. Well, for everything, I want to make sure it looks good, looks spiff and spam. Well, anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the wheels and replace them. Alrighty, it took a while, but all the wheels are off, and it did kind of hurt a bit. I might have poked myself, but now all I gotta do now is replace the wheels. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the metal pickups, so that way it'll have a good contact as soon as I put the wheels on. And then after that, I'm gonna go and set up. Well, I need to set up the track first. I'm just gonna use the track that came with the Lino set. And plug and set it up. Well, I'm not gonna put the entire track. Just gonna put up a nice track, nice line to make sure it could fit all of the passenger cars. And once I do that, test them out, make sure they all work, and that should be it. Alright, all the metal pickups are cleaned, technically polished, ready to go, ready to put the wheels back on. But first, I'm going to go ahead and swap the couplers and mount them onto the body. I already got the parts all ready to go. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. Let me grab it. So, of course, we all grew up with grandmas. We all thought the cookie jar in their room was going to be full of cookies, but no, just sewing kits. This situation, it's just tools and parts. This one where I had the decal sticker, that one now has the screws for the lights. that's ready to go. And then of course this is where I got my figurines for the engine. And these are the couplers I'm gonna attach to the passenger cars. I was hoping to find the KD ones. I mean, they did have them, but they didn't have like that little spring thing on them. So I just got these instead. I was like, might as well just buy them anyways. They're pretty good. So this one was the one I had to do because the metal pickup was, well, you probably saw it already, was not even. Well, both wheels weren't on the track. Only one was popping up. So I had to redo that. I'm just gonna do it to all 4, including the observation car, which I'm gonna do off camera. And that should be about do it. So I'm gonna go ahead, stop yapping again. I already gave stop yapping about what I'm doing now, but yeah, that should be about it. All I gotta do now is switch the couplers. See you then. Alrighty, all the wheels are finally placed in. The last thing to do now is to put them on the track to make sure they all work. And then I'm going to put the remaining wheels and put them back on this one. Or the wheels that were originally from here, I'm going to attach them to over here. And then I'm going to just take these out to the track, test each one individually, one at a time actually, make sure they all work. And then after that, I'm going to wait until the paint dries. I'm gonna go back and check on the paint, see if it dried. If not, I'm gonna wait a little longer. See you then. Alrighty, the some of the 3 passenger cars aren't working. I have a feeling it's just more of an electrical problem because when I replaced the wheels on the observation car with the ones on here, they were working fine. So far 2 of the 5 passenger cars are working just fine. Right now I'm leaving them on the track just to make sure that the other one that I took apart still has electrical contact. I'm gonna have to take the other 3 in to see if I can get someone to fix it, because I'm a bit disappointed about it. But so far, I think it's more of an electrical problem than depicted in the wheels or anything else. I think it's just the electrical. I think it might be the light board. Yeah, I think that should be about it. I might need to call Romance Hobbies and ask them about this. They're not open in a bit. I'm gonna put the shell on the other one that works, and that should be about it. Alrighty, on the brighter note, the paint's dried. The only thing I gotta do is to apply the decal, and I believe that should be about it. And I'm gonna use, these are the Woolen Scenics, and I'm gonna use these small little fonts for it, and that should be it. I'm sorry I sound a little bummed out. I was really hoping to get this done before Christmas, but I don't think that's going to be possible now. I think it's going to be more of an electrical issue. Maybe. I hope that's the issue. But on the brighter note, I'm going to go ahead and apply the decal. I took a photo before, and I think I should have a photo of that one, but instead of using the phone I'm recording on, I'm just going to use my anniversary card since it has it on there. as a better example. So I'm gonna go and take this out. Let me put this aside, and I'm gonna put the old wheels on this one because I think it's an electrical issue, the reason why the lights aren't working. The only one way to find out is take it over. I'm gonna take it to Railmaster. Obviously, that's the closest one right now. So all I gotta do is sorry, my throat's a little sore. I mean my voice. So I'm gonna go ahead, do this decal, attach everything on both. Except for this one, apply the crazy glue, super glue on this one, and that should be about it. I'm not gonna put the crazy glue on this one because this will be stuck. I'm only gonna apply it on this one, and that should be about it. Alright, let me go and start. Alrighty. Took a while. But finally got it on here. Even though it's a bit crooked, even though it doesn't look totally spaced even or looks just somewhat crooked, but you know what? Close enough and good enough for me. Now all I gotta do is screw these lights back on, and that should be it. Then after this, I'm gonna take those passenger cars to the place, see if they can help do the job. Hope so. Which I don't think this is gonna be done before Christmas. I really don't. But looks good. Now all I gotta do is glue the doors back, glue some of the doors back on, and that should be about it. Alrighty, it's been applied. Now I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. Once it dries, I'm gonna put it back on, put the screw back and everything. That should be about it. While I let it dry, I'm gonna probably put everything away and take them to the shop to see if they can get them fixed. Be right back. Alright, so while we wait for the highway shop to open so I can pick up the passenger cars, I'm gonna go and paint the trailing to finish off where I started on the trailing trucks. Technically, mostly this sides only these sides, and that should be about it. The last thing, once I pick them out, I'm gonna put those doors back into their place, so that way I can fully be complete and let it dry. Once it dries, I can paint these. I can paint everything, and then I'm just gonna put the conductor on the back of the observation car as more of a best for last, and then that should be about it. Alrighty, now I already got one side of the passenger cars done. The last thing, while I wait for these to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the brakes on the locomotive, which I don't know if you can see.
they are not painted. Well, I got the back wheel done. So what I'm gonna do is unscrew the shell, leave it as that, and then paint the wheels. But I might need to turn the motor to help me out a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna do this off camera because it's gonna be the exact same thing I'm doing with the passenger cars. I mean, I'm just gonna do it with these two, and that might be it. And then all I gotta do is probably might go. Well, I'm just gonna do it afterwards. So now after that, I can go ahead and put everything together. And also once I get the passenger cars coming to test out and do that off camera, and then that should be about it. See you on the track. Alright, so I brought the passenger cars to the Railmaster Hobbies to get it fixed to see what was the issue. I thought it was, well, I believed it was an electrical problem. Turns out I was right. So after I brought it, the guy told me he was gonna give it a check-in. Then later on at night, later on the day, probably before they closed, he was gonna call me and let me know what the issue was. So I waited. Then it was around it was all the way towards the end of the day, and I got a call from him, told me I was right, but it was not the light board. It turns out I had the wheels wrong, because I swapped them with the passenger cars. But I also told him that too, to let him know that, hey, so I did this, these aren't the original wheels. So he told me it was the wheels, and I thought, I didn't think the wheels were going to be a major issue. We're going to have a certain role when it comes with the, because I thought just put the wheels on, that's it. So now I know, now it was a learning experience, now I know. So I went, got it, so the guy told me what it was, told me it was ready for pickup, can I pick it up the following day actually? Said yeah, and turns out I thought it was going to be a little, I thought it was going to be a lot, but no, it was an even $20. I was like, oh, so I was pretty happy about that. So all I had to do now was I went over, picked it up, went home, came back home, set up the track again. The lights were working. And that was when I kept them on that track for I don't know how long. I want to make sure those lights were gonna stay on and not dim out afterwards. The lights work. Now we got it. Now the final step was apply the paint on the trucks, underneath the passenger cars, then at the conductor, which I all did off camera, because I wanted to get it done. And thankfully, it went through.
well, it's the end of the video. It's time to say goodbye. Good night. This may be the last video for this year. Maybe. I don't know. As so unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed that the only thing I've been bummed out about was that the Polar Express train set and the anniversary engine hasn't come out yet. I was hoping it was gonna come out this month, but no. Probably gonna wait until July, or I mean, not July, in January. Who knows when they'll arrive? But I prefer them taking their time, making sure the train set and the engine is perfect as possible. Like how I'm gonna say towards the end of this video. Well, not the end of the video, towards the end of the project. How on one passenger car I kind of learned my lesson. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays and a happy new year.